Hello everyone, I'm going to be putting up a couple of videos today, slightly different format, not as formulated as some of my others, but one of them is a query. That's the first one, that's this one. And the second one is going to be a brief review of a product I was sent with a request to review it. So keep an eye out for that coming up a little bit later on. But the first video, as I've said, and the title says, is actually a query for my viewers, and hopefully you'll be able to help with this. We've managed to pick up a friend of mine, Ramsey, who we've seen in previous videos looking at British rations, recently picked up, well, a little while ago now actually, but fairly recently picked up a sterilising tin like this one, and I've picked up one as well, as you can see. And these are a little bit different from the normal British sterilising outfit water bottle, sterilising outfits for use with water bottle tins, in that it's not square. The shape is different, and you can see one of the normal examples here for comparison. They're about the same size in terms of height when held like this, but obviously this one is much wider. It's not square, it's oblong. Now, have a look at these in more detail in just a moment. The basic question in the video is, does anyone know, has anyone seen these slightly more oblong tins in use during their service? We're presuming post-war, given the design, which we'll look at the detail of that in just a minute. And that's basically it. Did you see these in use? Was there any difference in were the bottles inside bigger? Because the ones we have are empty. But we'll take a look at these in detail now, and that may give you an insight into, obviously whether you were issued these. As I say, they're a bit bigger than the standard tins. So we'll have a look at them in detail now. Okay, so here we have a side-by-side of the two tins, and you can perhaps more readily see the difference in the size between them. And this is the standard type, obviously square, essentially. And this is the slightly oblong version, slightly enlarged version. Have a look at the instructions on the inside here. As you can see there, they're fairly standard. They essentially, look here, are the same. So the contents would have been essentially the same as far as we're aware. But if I take the bottles, and as you can see, these are post-war screw top bottles in here, and take these out, it's a little bit of a tight fit. There we go, once you've got one out, it's easy. They're a very loose fit in there, so you're going to need a lot of extra packing, or potentially slightly enlarged bottles. Now, we're not entirely sure on this. Whether this is just a manufacturing variation, I don't know. Or whether there were slightly enlarged, slightly bigger square bottles for these, I don't know. But as I say, it is quite a bit bigger, and obviously this is ample. They're a relatively tight fit with the packing in there. This is ample to take the two bottles, no problem. So it would seem odd to have that enlarged tin without there being a purpose for it. So that's the query really, is did anyone see these in service? And if so, did they have larger bottles inside, or was there just more cardboard packing? And that's, as I say, just a point of interest. So shining the light directly into the camera there. That's the point of interest. As I say, they are an unusual variation on the theme. Most of the tins you see, wartime through the 70s, are of this nature. It's something I'll do a video on at some point, comparing them in general, but I'd somewhat like an answer to exactly what the significance is of the difference in size of this type before doing that video, if at all possible. There may not be an answer that's readily available, but the hope of putting this video out is that someone will have seen these and know. It's worked before with other bits of kit, so we shall see. And thank you very much, obviously, to anyone who does have an answer on exactly what this difference, if there is any significance to this difference. So there we are. Hopefully someone will be able to tell us, is there a difference in the contents between these two? Or was this perhaps just a proprietary tin that was close enough in size that they thought, well, the company producing them thought, well, we can buy these in, paint them up, spot on, they do the job, just a bit of extra padding inside maybe. Or was there actually a slightly enlarged version of the bottles? As I say, it's a question we've not been able to find an answer to yet. Someone out there may know, and we're thinking these are post-war, given the lip on the tin and everything. Just the element of the design makes us think perhaps post-war, as opposed to wartime. Obviously, these were manufactured right the way through into the 70s, I believe, so there's plenty of scope there for post-war manufacture. If anyone knows, I'd be very, very interested to hear, and obviously thank you if you do know and can provide an answer. We greatly appreciate it. But that's it for now.